Children, to yet another session of chapter number 13, that is why do we fall ill. And today is our sixth session of this chapter. So let us begin with what we have done in our previous sessions. In our previous sessions we studied about health and its failure, in which we studied about the significance of health. We also focused on personal and community issues, and we also learnt about distinction between healthy and disease-free state. In our previous session, we also learnt about diseases and its causes, in which we covered the topics: what does a disease look like, acute and chronic diseases and poor health, and causes of diseases. So in today's session, we are going to study about infectious and non-infectious causes of diseases. Here in the slide, you can see two different types of pictures. At the one side, you can see the images of some of the viruses, bacteria, molds, etc. On the other side, you can see the organs which are showing certain type of diseases. Organ heart is there, which is there to symbolize cardiac arrest or heart related problems. Then you can see the image of brain, which is denoting here brain tumor or clotting of blood into brain, or some blood related diseases. In today's session, we are going to focus on these two different types of conditions. That is why I have showed these pictures to you. So let us begin with the session. It is important to keep public health and community health factors in mind when we are thinking about the causes of disease. It is useful to think of the immediate causes of disease. And there are two main immediate causes of disease. These can be categorized as diseases that are caused by infectious agents, and the other category is the diseases that are not caused by infectious agents. So now let us one by one focus on both the two types of diseases. So let us first begin with the diseases caused by infectious agents. Mostly microbes, which include viruses, bacteria, molds, and sometimes parasites also. These are the causative agents of infectious diseases. Diseases where microbes are the immediate causes are called infectious diseases, or the diseases which can transfer from one person to another person and can get transferred from one host to another host are called as infectious diseases. This is because the microbes can spread in the community and the disease they cause will spread through them. So if the microbe is increasing in number, the disease will also increase, or the patients suffering with that disease will also increase. The other type of diseases are diseases that are not caused by the infectious agents. Their causes can be different types, but they are not external causes. Means there will not be any infection of viruses, bacteria, molds, parasites, or any ectoparasite, etc. In this category of diseases, there will be some internal abnormality or internal deficiency which will cause the disease in a patient. So they are mostly internal diseases and non-infectious causes. Children, these type of diseases are very common nowadays. Like most of the people suffer with diabetes and blood pressure related problems. How can an infectious disease spread? Infectious diseases can spread through direct contact, by sharing the belonging of infectious person, by some of the infected animals too. So these infections can be categorized into different categories. through the transmission, different modes of transmission of different disease, different sources of transmission of different diseases. Sometimes we get infection from a human only, so that time the infection comes from person to person, and sometimes we get infection from an animal, so that type of infection is called as zoonotic infection or zoonotic transmission. You all are aware of rabies disease. In rabies disease, a dog who is already infected with rabies virus, if bites a healthy person, human being, that human also gets the infection of rabies. So that in that case, infection spreads from animal to human. And the other category, that is from person to person. You can take an example of coronavirus, in which if an infected person touches any surface, the infection goes into that surface, and if in case a healthy person touches the same surface, there are chances of transmission of infectious agent into the healthy person. Or if a healthy person is directly touching a infected person, the transmission of disease takes place. So there are different ways by which infectious disease is spread. What is the difference between an infectious and non-infectious disease? A very clear single answer is infectious disease are diseases that can be transmitted from one person to another person, whereas non-infectious diseases cannot. These infectious diseases are also called as communicable diseases, whereas the non-infectious diseases are also known as non-communicable diseases. Example, an infectious disease that can be spread is influenza, flu, or HIV. An example of non-infectious disease is diabetes or cancer. It can be BP also, and other diseases which are related to some abnormality of functioning of any body organ, abnormality in functioning of any hormone in the body, or deficiency disease, etc. So let us focus on non-infectious diseases. Non-infectious diseases are not contagious. This means that you cannot catch it from another person. Oftentimes, certain non-infectious diseases such as cancer, heart conditions, or mental disorders can be genetic also. This means that while you can't catch the illness from another person, often times it seems to pass from one generation to another. So when it is a genetical disease, that time the condition is different. It is spreading because of the transfer of genes. So this disease will be appearing in that particular family only. Here is a list of some non-infectious diseases. It can be asthma, certain kinds of allergies, diabetes, heart diseases, cancer, arthritis, epilepsy, multiple sclerosis, and anorexia and bulimia. Similarities between infectious and non-infectious diseases. Both infectious and non-infectious diseases can affect people of any age. And the second similarity is it can affect a person's physical health. This means they may cause part of a person's body not to work right. It can affect a person's mental health also and social health also. It can also affect a person in an economic way. They may cause a person to spend lots of money. Physical discomfort, tiredness, or some weakness in body are the common symptoms or the common characters which can be seen in infectious and non-infectious, both the type of diseases. Now let us differentiate infectious and non-infectious diseases in a tabular form. Infectious diseases are caused due to attack of pathogen. Non-infectious diseases caused by factors other than pathogens. Infectious diseases are caused due to extrinsic factor or external factors, whereas non-infectious diseases are caused by due to internal or intrinsic factor. Infectious diseases are transmitted from one person to another person. Non-infectious diseases are not transferred from one person to another person. Transmission of disease occurs through direct contact or some medium, air, water, vector or some object, etc. in case of infectious diseases. Whereas in case of non-infectious diseases, transmission can be hereditary in case of hereditary disease from one parent to offspring. In case of infectious diseases, community hygiene can reduce the occurrence of these diseases. Whereas in case of non-infectious diseases, community hygiene is ineffective in reducing the occurrence of the disease. Again, the examples are there. Infectious diseases can be cholera or malaria, etc. Non-infectious diseases, diabetes and goiter. Now it's time to focus on some of the contribution of great scientists in medicine and in discovery of some of the diseases. For many years, everybody used to think that peptic ulcers, which causes acidity related pain and bleeding in the stomach and duodenum region, were because of lifestyle reasons. Let me show you the picture of peptic ulcers first. Here is a picture of peptic ulcers where you can see gastric ulcers are there. Ulcers are nothing, a wound-like structure which occurs on the inner wall of the stomach. So from these wounds which develops on the wall of stomach, which are also called as ulcers, blood tend to come out or bleeding occurs. And this results in so much of abnormality in a patient. So long back, people thought that these peptic ulcers are related to stress. Everybody thought that a stressful life led to a lot of acid secretion in the stomach and this causes peptic ulcers. But later, people realized that this peptic ulcer is not occurring because of stressful lifestyle. The two Australians made a discovery that a bacterium, Helicobacter pylori, was responsible for peptic ulcers. Robin Warren, born in 1937, a pathologist from Perth, Australia, saw that these small curved bacteria in the lower part of the stomach in many patients. He noticed that signs of inflammation were always present around these bacteria. Barry Marshall, who was born in year 1951, he was a young clinical fellow, became interested in Warren's findings and succeeded in cultivating the bacteria from these sources. And these two were the scientists who first proved that these peptic ulcers are because of these bacteria, not because of stressful lifestyle. And in this slide you can see the picture of these great scientists. And for this achievement, Marshall and Warren received the Nobel Prize for Physiology and Medicine in year 2005. As I told you earlier that this chapter is going to be very interesting. So here are some very interesting questions for you. The first question is, list any 3 reasons why you would think that you are sick and ought to see the doctor. If only one of these symptoms were present, would you still go to the doctor? Why or why not? The second question is, in which of the following case do you think the long-term effects on your health are likely to be most unpleasant? The first case is if you get jaundice. Jaundice is infectious disease. And the second case is if you get lice. Lice is also external parasite, so it is infectious disease. And the third one is if you get acne. You all suffer with acne in this age. So you need to answer these questions logically, think about it and then write answer. See you next time. Thank you so much.